Now, the government's bringing new restrictions into place that will allow police to arrest people wearing face coverings, as well as those who block roads. This is if they're out protesting, by the way.
Yes, Number 10 hopes that these measures will crack down on dangerous disorder.
Well, it follows months of pro-Palestine demonstrations and disruption by groups like Extinction Rebellion.
Well, let's speak now to former Met Police Detective Peter Bleksley. Good to see you this morning, Peter. What do you make of these new laws, then? Very
much needed new measures that are going to feature in the new criminal justice bill. And I boil it down to 4 letters, FFRM. That's how I remember them. Firstly, face coverings at demonstrations. An officer will be empowered to tell you to remove a face covering. And if you don't, you will be arrested. Well, we hope they'll be arrested, because all these measures are going to need robust policing. So senior police are going to have to grow a spine in order to enforce these laws if they get onto the statute book. Then we have the second F, which is fireworks and other pyrotechnics, flares and the such like. We've had fireworks fired at police horses and the such like. So a new offence to cover that. Roads. How many roads have been blocked in the last few years by protesters, and the police have sometimes been utterly ineffective in clearing them away. So this law is going to bolster the powers available to the police to do that. And finally, the M, memorials, war memorials. It's going to be an offence to clamber aboard and therefore disrespect a war memorial. Quite right too.
OK. Let's talk about Abdullah Zaidi, should we? Because we've been talking about this for 8 days now, would you believe? How is he still evading the authorities, Peter?
The question on so many people's lips. The latest CCTV that was released by the Metropolitan Police yesterday is still from last Wednesday, so over a week old. But what it does show is that he crosses Westminster Bridge. In fact, he walks past New Scotland Yard. I mean, if they wanted to know where he was, they could have opened the window and had a look. But I'm not criticising them for that, obviously. It's just the route he took. And then he crosses Vauxhall Bridge as well. And he does go along roads and embankments that are very much adjacent to the River Thames. So, of course, many people are asking, was he contemplating perhaps jumping into the Thames and therefore ending his life as he took this rather strange route? It wasn't the route of somebody who's waiting to be picked up, for example, or otherwise helped to be spirited away. It's very unusual, and that question will remain, did he go into the water? As we know, rivers, seas, oceans can often be very slow to give up their secrets. The next big option, is he being harboured? Is he being fed, watered, have a roof over his head, transported and potentially given medical aid? Because the Met, not surprisingly, many of us have been speculating about this. His injury could indeed be fatal, especially if he suffers from some kind of infection or sepsis.
Yeah, but I mean, it would seem that the police have given quite a lot of credence to the idea that he may be harboured just by the fact that they put forward this 20 grand reward.
And also bearing in mind that the CCTV is over a week old. So it's not as if they're telling us that they've got him boxed in to a particular part of the city, an estate, a street or some kind of defined area like that. It could be entirely probable that they don't have a clue.
But that is what is so baffling by this, Peter. I mean, yesterday, Commander John Saville literally said that. He said, well, he could have gone north, he could have gone south, he could have gone east, he could have gone west. He doesn't seem to know. It seems to still be at that theorising stage.
Yes, indeed.
Or is that just what we're being told?
No, I think the Metropolitan Police will be very keen to solve this, either by capturing him or saying that a body has been found, because it's still in the papers, all right, it's not on the front pages, but it's still getting a lot of airtime. We're talking about it now, of course, and they will be very keen to solve it. But analysing the CCTV is very, very time-intensive and resource-intensive, because you have to watch it in slower than real time, because people can appear and disappear very quickly. Sometimes you've got to rewind it again and have another look and then find another network to try and piece him step by step from one network to another.
Are we being unreasonable then in the pressure that we're putting on the Met to find him?
No, I think we're being entirely reasonable to ask questions. In fact, Commander Savile has thanked the media on more than one occasion for discussing the story. And here we are reminding viewers and listeners there's a £20,000 reward out there for his capture. To harbour or help him could be a very serious criminal offence, which could get people in a lot of very deep water. So I think the police will be quite happy that we're still discussing the case.
OK, Peter, thank you.
Thank you very much.